Live from the PCTV studios, the Monday Morning Quarterback. Your host, Dave Ridenour.
Hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome to yet another edition of the Vlahos Dunn Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback Show. I'm Dave Ridenour, the Monday Morning Quarterback, and we think we have another great show planned for you this evening. We've got a bunch of special guests lined up. We're going to turn things around a little bit, though. We're going to start off with our Player of the Week and his coach as we change some things up here on the show, but we're still going to have a lot of fun. So as usual, we're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, we're going to meet the Player of the Week and his coach right here on the Vlahos Dunn Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback Show.
Stay tuned for more Monday Morning Quarterback right after this.
At Vlahos Dunn Insurance, we understand what moves people in business and in life, and we use this knowledge to better serve our clients. And we bring the same work ethic and commitment to our business as our customers do theirs. Vlahos Dunn Insurance, providing quality coverage to the Tri-County area since 1994. So call our knowledgeable staff.
Hi, I'm Jim Vlahos of Vlahos Dunn Insurance, and we're in your community.
Doc's Irish Pub, the hottest new sports bar around. From live entertainment to countless draft beers. From awesome burgers to the new outside tiki bar. Numerous TVs and Doc's friendly service. Doc's Irish Pub is the place to be. Stop by Doc's today for a leisurely lunch, a quick cold beer, or a delicious bite to eat on a fall night. Doc's Irish Pub. This portion of Monday Morning Quarterback is brought to you by A to Z Furniture. A to Z Furniture is located on 296 South Reading Avenue in Boyertown. Stay tuned
Back here
for
at
more
the
Monday Morning
PCTV studios here located at Pottstown Senior High School. Again, Dave Ridenour, the Monday Morning Quarterback. And before we meet our Player of the Week and his coach, I just want to take a second out there again to thank my good friend Charlie Pierce down at the Trophy and Plaque Shack for hooking us up every week and really is a generous guy and helping us out here on the show. And CGI, Complete Graphics Incorporated, down on High Street, down near the Montgomery County Community College on High Street for taking care of us. They help us with our certificates and all of our printing needs as well. So I want to thank those two people as well. Before we meet our Player of the Week, coming from across the river now in Bucktown, Owen J. Roberts' own Marcus Martin, running back and cornerback, and his coach in his fourth season, Rich Kolka. Guys, first of all, welcome to the show. Congratulations, and it's good to see you guys. Thank you. All right. Well, a big win, obviously, which we'll get to in a minute here as we get a chance to talk to Marcus and Coach Kolka. But Rich, let's go back a little bit. Let's start at the end of last year. You guys had a very successful season. You made the playoffs. You had a lot of good things rolling last year. You guys in Bucktown were playing very, very well. Get into District 1 playoffs. You get to some of your goals. Now you get to the off-season. You lose some of your big guns. You lose your quarterback of 3 years, Dawson Stewart. You lose Krumenacker. You lose Hendricks. You lose Bradford. You lose a lot of guys. Now you got a nice little junior class led by Marcus Martin and his guys coming up. Tell us a little bit about your off-season and what you guys tried to accomplish to get ready for 2018.
Well, I think you hit on one of the primary goals, and it was to, emphasize the fact that we lost all those guys and people aren't giving us a chance. You know, they're not giving us a chance to do anything. Owen J's down. Owen J's not going to be any good. And the upcoming seniors like Marcus this year, you know, they really took offense to that, and they took hold of the weight room, and they had a great off season.
Now, again, you know, Coach says that, you know, he takes some of that stuff personal. I guess there's a little scuttlebutt going around, whether it's through the papers or through other guys. You know, you see a lot of people that you play against and things like that. So that helped to motivate you to get ready for this upcoming season.
Yes, of course. Yeah, we just worked in the weight room every day and just get stronger and faster and stuff and work together.
Now, as a junior going into your senior season, you become more of a leader. Coach is looking up to you for more responsibilities and things. How do you adjust to that, Marcus?
By just showing leadership, yeah, and just pushing them to get better and get stronger and faster.
Now, are you a vocal kind of guy? Are you you lead by example? Or how, you know, lead by example, quiet kind of guy?
Yeah.
All right. Coach, you know, obviously you have a lot of kids coming up that you rely on. They've been around your program now for a couple years, and I guess that was the kind of point that you wanted to get to them, that, you know, we're expecting a lot of things out of you guys.
Yeah, we're hoping for, you know, no setbacks, and there's no reason for it. We work together all year round, so we should be competitive with every team in our division, and that's our goal.
Now, you know, talking goals, Coach, you know, we talk to different teams and different coaches, and some are very goal-oriented, some really aren't so much. They play each week one at a time and things like that. Are you a goal-oriented guy? Do you write down specific things, Rich, or how do you approach that?
I think we're a combination of both at our school. You know, 1 week at a time is definitely a philosophy, but we certainly have program goals, you know, making the playoffs being one of them, being able to compete for a PAC title being another one. So we certainly have program goals along with individual weekly goals.
How about you, Marcus? You write some things down. I want to be all league. I want to do this. I want to do that. Gain 1,000 maybe. Do you have some goals in mind for yourself as well?
Yes. Trying to make a team go and win a record. And yeah, trying to get 1,000 yards rushing.
Well, you know, it's funny. You know, I can even look back to my high school days, and we played on Thanksgiving, obviously, against you guys here at Pottstown. And I remember sitting there on Thanksgiving Day after the game was over in the locker room saying, man, this year really went fast. Do you find this year really going fast for you? I mean, you already got 6 games in already.
Yeah, this year is going very fast. I didn't think it was going to go this fast at all.
Well, you know, you and I were talking off air, Rich, before we came on. It seems really weird because we just started the month of October, and you only got 4 weeks left to go. And I said, yeah, everybody's going to be done football unless you're lucky enough to make the playoffs before Halloween, and this doesn't seem right.
That's correct. That doesn't happen a whole lot, and it does feel a little strange to be done that early. Hopefully we're not. But.
Yeah. You get a couple games in before Labor Day and
right.
before all the kids are back to school and everything else. So it is really, really weird. And I don't know, how did you feel this year with, you know, I talked to a couple people, some former coaches, and, you know, the first couple of games are a little sloppier than normal. You don't have as much practice time. You don't get as many scrimmages. You don't have as much contact with yourselves or someone else. And next thing you know is you're playing meaningful games, these non-league games, to try to build up your points. Do you find that a little bit more difficult now, Rich?
I think the most difficult thing is the lack of the second scrimmage. I think that is a big, big downfall. 2 scrimmages gives you a real good handle on who should be where, maybe move guys around. You get 1 scrimmage in a game, it's awfully difficult.
Yeah. How did you feel about that, Marcus? From a player's perspective, I know I wouldn't have liked it. I mean, you got to play. You got to play football. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to play. I want to play football.
Well, yeah, like we all had to work together. It was our first time being on the field together versus a different team. So, yeah, it was hard to go from a scrimmage to an actual game.
Yeah, and again, you know, maybe even execution-wise, Rich, you know, getting all your footwork down, all your steps, you know, line taking their little pulls and whatever they're doing, and the running backs and everybody working on that, I would think it'd be very, very difficult.
It is. We do an awful lot of work in the off season. You know, Wednesday mornings we're in the gym at like 6:30 in the morning going through some plays, but it doesn't matter unless you're going against full speed against another team. You've got to get that tempo, and that's very difficult to simulate.
I know. Like I said, before we went on the air, we were even talking about the pros, how sloppy they look the first couple of weeks because they don't want to play preseason games. You know, nobody wants to get hurt anymore, and really preseason is look to try to find the second and third stringers so that they make the squad. But you know, it's sort of funny. But you know, you go through your heat acclimation and all the different things, and you know, you try to get ready. You guys, do you go away to camp anymore or no? You go away to camp.
We do. We go to Albright College.
Okay, and you find that beneficial for you?
Yeah, it's definitely beneficial. It gives us a lot of time there, either by ourselves or going against other teams, but you're still using hand shields, So it's not full contact. It's not the same game, but it's the best you can do right now with the set of rules we have.
Yeah, well, again, you get started early. You get started back in August, and still pretty hot out. Does it take a little while to get adjusted to that too? Particularly a guy like yourself who plays both ways, but not only both ways, but two positions that are taxing for sure.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's hard to like you get tired and stuff, but you just gotta work through it. That's what all the off-season stuff is for.
Yeah, I know. 'Cause not that you ever want to take a break anywhere or whatever, but you got to learn how to pace yourself a little bit, and you make adjustment for all that stuff as well. I know because most running backs they don't play both sides of the ball. A lot of them they like to save them for offense, but you play that defensive back position as well. Coach, I know you like to use a lot more guys. Would like to see more guys playing just one side of the ball, but you got to get your best 11 out there.
You certainly do, and I wish I was in the luxury to be able to do what you're referencing. Sub some more guys, get some guys other rest. We just can't currently do that.
How's your numbers over at O&J? You happy with the amount of kids coming out? Would you like to see more?
Well,
how's that going for you?
It's okay. I mean, obviously I'd like to see more, but we're one of the smallest 6A schools, so I don't expect us to have a roster like Springford or PV. So I understand where we're at. I'd like to be in the 60s, but we're not currently there yet. When I took over, we had 34 our first year. We're up to 50 this year. So I think it's an improvement. I just don't know if we're going to ever get there. I don't know if that many people are playing football anymore. I don't know.
How's the numbers down to junior high? You still getting some good interest there at the junior high level?
It's tough because it goes by grade level.
Yeah.
So you take a look at your 9th grade group and say you got 23. Retention, how do you retain all of them? I've never been able to retain 100% of them, and that's a difficult problem. So we're still working through that.
All right. Well, you get ready to start the season. High hopes for the Cats. I said they were in the playoffs last year. So you have enough kids coming back. You did lose, obviously, some talented kids, some 3-year starters. And so you're looking for which way. And, tell me a little bit about what your philosophy was coming into the beginning of the year. You have these 4 non-league games before you start your divisional play in the Liberty Division. So you have your schedule planned out. Tell me what you were thinking about all that stuff.
Well, hopefully, like any team, we hope to get off to a fast start. And hopefully you can find the guys in the right positions through your one scrimmage to get off to that fast start. I think that's one of the most difficult things that we have to do.
Now, how about you, Marcus? Were you ready to rock and roll and when the year was ready to start and you play your first game? Conestoga was your first game?
Correct.
Okay. Yep. So you got to get ready for a non-league team, a team that you don't know a whole lot about. They're not your neighbor. You don't know a lot of the guys. How do you get ready for that first game of the year?
Well, we were all pretty pumped up for it, and we were like, yeah, we went through the whole summer stuff. We didn't do it for no reason, so we were like, can't wait for the first game, and yeah, we were all ready.
Well, you know what I really found enjoyable, if that's the right word, and glad to see that you played Daniel Boone. Daniel Boone has been a school that, back in my day, they didn't have a great program, and they played up in the Inter-County League or whomever they played up there. They were sort of like in no man's land. They weren't close enough to be with us in the Chestmont League, but yet they were fairly close. Are you going to continue a little and maybe build up a little rivalry with Daniel Boone?
Well, there's certainly a rivalry, I can tell you that. Whether we continue to play them really isn't just up to me, but we definitely have them next year. So contracts usually 2-year cycles, so we'll see where it ends up after next year.
And they are what, a 5A?
They are a 5A.
They're 5A.
Correct. Yep.
And I know you guys, with all the points and all that stuff for the districts, you try to maneuver around to get as many 6As as you can and do that so you can build up some bonus points and stuff. But a 5A school certainly fits in with you guys.
Yeah, 5A is not terrible. You prefer a 6A that you can compete with, but 5A that wins some games is also beneficial.
How did you do against Daniel Boone? You like playing them? They're sort of a border for you guys.
I liked it.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun out there versus them.
And you know some of the guys from Daniel Boone at all? No, you don't know? Okay. I didn't know how that was there, but they certainly were programming. David Dolis, who coached up there for a few years, really built that program up. A nice AstroTurf field and all the things that he did up there. And his son Tommy was a heck of a quarterback. His son now, Ryan, is doing a great job at Pottsgrove as well. So now you get into those games. You win some of those games. You lose to Oxford, which was a disappointment for you.
I'd say so. Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're explosive offensively, but, man, I thought we had them in multiple situations, and we just turned the ball over a couple times and just couldn't hang with them in the end.
Tell us about Oxford, Marcus.
Well, I got hurt the first quarter or second quarter, and
Correct.
I just wasn't myself, so I was rushed to the hospital and stuff. So I honestly don't know how But when I was there, we were doing pretty good and stuff. Yeah, it was going
All
more.
right, so you're okay from all
Yeah.
those hits and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, it's all part of the game. You know, it's you get a couple dinghies and you feel pretty good afterwards. But it's tough. And then you open up. You have Upper Marion, who was a non-league game or a non-divisional foe, if you will, and shut them out. And they are 4-2 and 2-0 in the division here for the Frontier Division. And Vic Brown's doing a nice job down at Upper Marion.
He is. I'm glad to see that. I like Vic a lot. I know him from previous when he coached at Reading, and he coached at Albright for a while, which is my alumni. So I'm really proud to see him doing well.
Yeah, he is a good guy, and he played at Bloomsburg where I played football, and I get a chance to talk to him in his second year now. And you know that from your first year to your second year, things sort of, they always say it slows down on the field for you because you're getting used to it, but you start to feel out a little bit more about what needs to be done, how do you approach things from that first and second year coach.
Yeah, there's a lot of growth in that off season in that first year, especially in learning players the most. I think that's the biggest thing you improve on.
Well, he told me also as far as all the administrative stuff, which you don't really think about when you're, oh man, we got paperwork, we got this, we got eligibility,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
True.
That kind of stuff too is really becomes important. Well, now you play PV, and PV is a solid squad. Obviously, they defending Pioneer Athletic Conference champions. Cole Peterlin is a guy who's really come into his own. They've had some good quarterbacks down there. Robbie Heist, I think, is another great young coach. So they have a pretty good squad, and you come out on the short end of that one, 33-6. But tell me a little bit about that game. Did you take some things out of that you figured, we played a little bit better than the score? This is something we can do. How did you feel after that game?
Well, I think the score is not indicative of how the game went, and even Coach Heiss said that. So on the paper, it was really a good football game for 3 quarters. And then we kind of self-destructed after that and turned the ball over again. And you can't turn the ball over against a team like that and expect to win.
How about your where'd you come out of that PV game with, Marcus?
We started off pretty well. In the first and second quarter, we were doing good and stuff, and we just came out slow and messing up assignments and everything. It was just mental mistakes.
Well, Cooper Chamberlain is another guy who is your quarterback now. He's got some really big shoes to fill. As we talked about Dawson Stewart, he was a 4-year starter. He set a lot of records, won a lot of games for the Cats. Tell me a little bit about his progress as we're going along here.
Cooper's doing really well. He's picking up the offense as we go through and be able to check some more beneficial plays on the field without me telling him what to do. So he's progressing pretty quick. He's really smart, and he's going to be fine.
Good. And how are you adjusting with Cooper? All right.
Yeah.
He's a younger guy, right? He's only a junior.
Correct.
So okay, one of the seniors. You got to sort of take him under your wing a little bit. How's that coming along?
Well, I played with him 10th
Okay.
grade year
Okay.
on JV, and that was pretty fun with him. And it was the same when he came to play varsity. We played together.
Well, it's one of the things that O&J I always was sort of admired from afar, if you will, is that they have that core of O&J kids. Even though you're getting some new kids from the area moving into that area, the old Bucktown Boosters and all that stuff was,
Yes.
They've been around for a long, long time, and they've been very proud of their teams. And we were talking to Matt Wagner, who directs the show for me. He's a graduate in '85 when they had Crossman and all these good players. So, that's something for you to look at as well.
Sure, yeah. It's always positive to have the boosters in your corner. Really like talking to them.
Yeah, they're good guys, and Henry Burnett was a heck of a guy, and,
Oh, yes.
and I enjoyed him. All right, well, this brings us up to last week's game, where we are going to honor Marcus for his outstanding play. You had 30 carries for a little over 100 yards, a couple of touchdowns, caught a couple of balls out of the backfield, and made some nice plays defensively. So tell us a little bit about your preparation for Boyertown, because at the beginning of the year, before Boyertown had its a couple of little hurdles to go over there, people look at this game and say it's a pretty good game. It could be a close game. I think O&J and Boyertown have a nice little rivalry. They're good 6A matches. Tell us a little bit about, first of all, from you, Coach, your preparation getting ready for Boyertown. What did you think you had to do?
It was a little tough to prepare for them because on film, their previous game, number 7 and number 11 were not in the lineup, Matthias and Moshe.
Moshe, yeah.
And they're both 2 very good athletes. So we prepared like they were both going to be playing, and unfortunately, Matthias wasn't able to play for them, but Moshe was, and he is a talented running back who can run people over. He is very, very good.
Well, I know he scored the first touchdown of the game on a 42-yard run, and he's a track guy, and he's got some skills too. And after that, though, 28 straight points. And tell me a little bit about yourself, Marcus. When you get ready for a game like that, or any game, do you have to put more emphasis on your offense than your defense, or you try to go 50-50 with that? How do you do it?
I tried to go 50-50, giving my best to both sides.
Yeah.
It was kind of hard because it was like wet and they have like grass and it was muddy. So yeah, you had to like work through those too.
But Moshe obviously earned some respect from you guys. I mean, I know talking to you before we went on air, you said, yeah, he's a tough kid.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, and only a junior, I think, as well.
That's correct, yeah.
And a track guy. So you figured you had some things. Did you think, you might have to throw the ball a little bit going into this game? What kind of offense did you have planned for the Bears?
Well, we like to be pretty balanced, both in the air and on the ground. We were able to utilize some quick screens. They play a little bit of man. So we utilized some quick screens. We were able to take advantage of some of those matchups, and we broke one big one, a 50-yarder early on. That helped us out a lot to take the lead.
Well, you had 42 carries for over 120 yards. You threw the ball 19 times, one touchdown and one interception. And then all of a sudden you bring in this guy, this Bryce Pippin guy. I mean, he comes in. Unfortunately, Chamberlain gets nicked up a little bit, and he can't go. So you bring in a freshman who's really a linebacker. And you had said that, I was hoping to only keep him on one side of the ball because he is such a young kid. But now all of a sudden he's thrust into behind the center, and he does okay.
That's correct, and I told him today, I said, you have to grow up pretty quick. Like, we don't have a whole lot of time for you to mess around. But hopefully he's up for the challenge.
Well, it's funny because he appears to be a guy that as soon as I say his name, both of you two guys get a smile on your face. So I'm sure he's a character. And he's certainly a kid that I'm sure all the other guys on the team like and stuff, so they can look forward to him. But as you mentioned, now you got to be serious now, dude, and now you got the reins and you have to run. So what kind of things did you have to say to him, Marcus, at all? Did you have a chance to say anything quickly before he took his first snap?
Nah, we didn't really talk, but like he's a great person, and I knew he knows when to get serious. He knows when to step up, and he has to do what he has to do.
Yeah. Well, I looked at your touchdown runs. Not being the biggest guy, I don't know if you consider yourself a scat back, a tailback, whatever, but you had a 1-yard plunge, you had a 6-yard run, and a 10-yard run. So obviously you don't mind lowering your shoulder and knocking it in the red zone.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
All right. So you enjoy that contact and stuff, which is a good thing. And I looked at some of the stuff that you've done for the season so far, and you're closing in on that 1,000-yard mark, I guess, right? Is your almost 700 yards, 7 touchdowns, and averaging just over 5 yards a carry. I guess you have to be a little satisfied with all that.
Yeah, but like they say, it's not over yet.
Not
you gotta
over
keep
yet.
going.
Yeah, it's not over yet at all. All right, Coach. Well, listen, you got a big one coming up, right? And they're all big now. And I looked at the PIAA rankings, and you are currently in the 13th slot. And they take 16 out of the 6A, right?
Correct.
Okay. Top 8 get home games. 9 through 16 are the visitors in round 1. So right now you're in the visitor section of that, but there's some, the North Penns and Coatesvilles and the Downingtowns and those teams up there in the top half, and those guys can really play as well. But you're in there, and you keep doing what you want to do, and you get in that top 16, huh?
It'd be great to get back to the playoffs, back-to-back seasons. But you're right; those top 10 are killers.
Yeah,
like that is
teams, huh?
It is the most difficult bracket to make because of the amount of teams. Take 16 out of 38 or might be, whatever it might be, and it's the most difficult one to get into. And when you get in there, there's some heavy hitters.
Yeah, there certainly are. Now, how do you get ready for a team like Norristown? Talking to you and Coach before we went on air, you said, and every week they got a new guy that we haven't seen, whether he's hurt or whatever, and he comes out and he can really play. And how do you get yourself ready for Norristown? What do you work on, offense first and then defense, or how do you work?
Yeah, I work on offense to defense.
Okay.
Then you just have to put trust in each other if you see new players and stuff.
So you want to get all that stuff squared away, ironed out, and ready to rock and roll. Coach, tell me a little bit about Norristown. Coach Milligan doing a nice job down there. They haven't won a lot of games. They've only won 1, but they are in these games. They gave PV a heck of a run, 14-7, in a game that they, sort of controlled for a long time. They even had to put Peterlin in, who had been hurt. He had a twisted ankle. He had been cleared to play. They had a young freshman in there, very similar to what you're going to have with young Pippen, but they had to pull that out in the last quarter.
Yeah, they're big, they're physical, they're fast, they like to blitz. They're going to pose quite a problem.
So you got to do your little zone blocking and get all that stuff squared away to pick up those stunts inside.
Yeah, we'll make sure we have them schemed up, but nonetheless, they're going to be tough.
Well, it is a home game, though, right, Marcus?
Yes,
So it's a home game over there at Coach Burnett Field in Bucktown Stadium there and the Wildcat Stadium, so that's a plus for you. You like playing on the turf more than regular grass?
Of course, yes.
Yeah, I heard you say that about Boyertown. It was a little slippery over there in the grass. And it's sort of a shame for them because they're having some problems with that field. And hopefully by next year they'll have a whole new field and stadium in there in place for their kids. But you like that. Coach, do you have any preference about the turf? I mean, obviously you have turf over at O&J.
We do. We have very nice turf. And before I got here, I was a grass guy. You know, being at Muhlenberg High School, we had beautiful grass. Always liked playing on grass. I'm kind of going to the other side now.
Okay.
Kind of going to the turf side now.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, again, it certainly is a faster track from what they tell me. I only played on it one time. I was pre-turf. I played. We played on rocks and dirt. We didn't even have grass back in those days, but it was all fun. And it's kind of interesting. You said, Muhlenberg. We are doing the Ursinus College and Muhlenberg College game on Saturday. Muhlenberg's coming in 4-0, so that should be an interesting
Very good. That's a cool conference, Centennial.
Yeah, the
It's a good
Centennial Conference
Yeah.
is a good league. And then, of course, you have your big matchup that and I know you don't want to talk about that yet because you're concentrating on Norristown, but down the line you have Spring Ford and all that, and you start that little friendly rivalry with Coach Brubaker and his Rams last year. I'm sure that's certainly a game you have circled on the calendar, and hopefully he gets in there and get a nice divisional game and make some playoffs, Coach, right?
We'll have to see. Norristown first.
Yeah, Norristown first. Marcus, anything else? How are your grades and everything? Everything good with that?
My grades are doing well.
Good. We like to hear that. We have a lot of youngsters out there that look up to you senior high guys, and they like to hear that and need to know that you also have to be a good student outside of the game of football as well. And then obviously this is your senior year. Any college plans at this point yet, or you just
I'm not sure at the
not
moment.
sure yet?
Just focusing on the season. right now.
Okay, just doing that. All right, Coach. Well, listen, it's always great to talk to you.
Thank you.
And we'll try to get you a tape so you can send it up to your pop up there in New York and
Sounds good.
see how he can critique you.
I'm sure.
Does he talk football to you at all?
He used to call me every Thursday before my games, and I would never talk to him. We'd be like silent on the phone. So he finally got the hint now. So he doesn't call on Thursdays anymore.
I know, because it's funny. I go out to the Planet Fitness here, and I see Billy Hawthorne's father, Rod, out there all the time, and he's on the treadmill, and I'm beside him. And I said, "You get your call?" And he said, "Yep, I got my call." And I said, "If he keeps listening to me, they'll keep winning games." It's really funny how the pops are and stuff, but they love their sons. I'm sure your father is very proud of you and what you're doing there at O&J as well. Well, Marcus, I have a little something for you so you can remember us here from the Monday Morning Quarterback. Again, we talked about the CGI, Complete Graphics Incorporated. They print anything but money, is their slogan, which is pretty fun. But here it is, lets you know that you are the Monday Morning Quarterback Player of the Week, again, courtesy of CGI and the Ritwich Boys. And we also have our little trophy here for you, our little mini Heisman, I like to call it. Now you can have there, again, that's Charlie Pierce and his gang at the Trophy and Plaque Shack, located right across the street from the Pottstown Library on High Street. So you can have that, and you can show your boys, and when you're playing your Fortnite or whatever games, you put that on the TV so you can see all that stuff. But guys, it's always fun. Coaches, I appreciate you coming over. Marcus, we had a lot of fun earlier in the season in our preview show, and it's good to see you again. Keep up the good work. You don't play Pottstown anymore, so I can root for you guys.
Crossover, maybe crossover.
Oh yeah, maybe crossover. That's true. Yeah. That's true. I never thought about that. Yeah,
we would enjoy that.
That would be a fun time. It'd be a fun time. And the crossover games are at the Frontiers, right?
Correct.
They're at the smaller schools this year. So we could have that kind of scenario again. But again, I want to congratulate Marcus Martin, the Monday Morning Quarterback, Player of the Weekend. Rich Culkin, his 4th year for the 4-2 Cats. All right, we're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we got more stuff for you right here on the Vlahos Dunn Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback Show.
Stay tuned for more Monday Morning Quarterback right after this.
Fred Beans Ford of Boyertown is located on Route 100, just 2 miles north of Boyertown. Fred Beans Ford provides automotive sales, service, parts, and body shop all in one place. They're open 6 days a week. Fred Beans Ford in Boyertown can be reached at 800-222-0243, 800-222-0243, or online at fredbeans.com.
Doc's Irish Pub, the hottest new sports bar around. From live entertainment to countless draft beers. From awesome burgers to the new outside tiki bar. Numerous TVs and Doc's friendly service. Doc's Irish Pub is the place to be. Stop by Doc's today for a leisurely lunch, a quick cold beer, or a delicious bite to eat on a fall night. Doc's Irish Pub.
Welcome to the office of John H. Greismeyer Jr., where we believe in the value of relationships. We take pride in giving you the assistance you need, where that involves income tax, payroll, or financial statement preparation. Located in Boyertown, we're committed to meeting the needs of the people in our community, and our team of skilled financial professionals look forward to working with you. John H. Greismeyer Jr. Call us or visit our website now.
Hey, we're back here at the PCTV Network studios here at Pottstown Senior High School. Again, I'm Dave Reinauer and the Vlahos Dunn Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback, and we are sort of spreading our wings, if you will. We're going to be going down to Ursinus College on Saturday to do the Muhlenberg College and Ursinus College game right here on the PCTV Network, and we are looking forward to that. And we have the great honor of having the head coach for the UC Bears. We got Pete Gallagher on the line, and we want to get an opportunity to talk to Pete and talk to him a little bit, and maybe we can find out a little bit about what's going on down at UC. Pete, are you there?
Yeah, Dave, right here.
Okay, Pete, thanks for joining us here on the Monday Morning Quarterback Show. I just kind of wanted to get a chance to introduce myself and introduce you to our network, and hopefully we'll have a lot of fun on Saturday afternoon.
Looking forward to it, Dave.
I am too. It's going to be a good time. Coach, you start off the season doing pretty well. You're 4-1. You have a big game coming up with Muhlenberg. Let's talk a little bit about your 4 wins coming into the season. You beat Bethany, you beat Gettysburg, Juniata, and Moravian. Looks like your offense is doing pretty well, and you're able to shut some teams down. Tell us a little bit about the Ursinus squad here in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, well, we've we got a returning quarterback in Tom Garlick, and we got two very talented tailbacks in Stacy Gardner and Sam Racklin, and we run a triple option and a speed option, and our ground game has really allowed us to have some explosive plays, and our defense is certainly controlled opposing offenses, and we generated some explosive plays in our pass game as well, and that generated 4 wins for us.
Well, I see you're pretty balanced, Coach. You know, you rush for almost 200 yards a game and throw for a little over 230, 240 yards. So there is a pretty good balance. You're scoring 27 points a game. So I guess you are sort of satisfied right now. Never totally satisfied, obviously, as a coach, but you sort of have to be happy with the things are.
Well, I think balance is the key to our offense. Dave Rackevan, longtime Ivy League coach and offensive coordinator at Princeton. Matter of fact, worked a little bit at the Hill School.
At the Hill School, yeah, I remember
for a
the
couple
name.
years. Is our offensive coordinator, and I think that when you have balance, when you can run it and throw it, you don't always have to run it on first down. You don't always throw it on first down. You don't always throw it on third. You don't always run it on third. I think that has certainly been a big part of our success when you're almost split right down the middle.
Well, I see on the other side of the ball you have a familiar name, too, to some of the people around here. I believe he's from Archbishop Wood and was sort of a bad name around here because every time some good teams got into the playoffs, they'd run into Archbishop Wood and Steve Devil. And I guess he's your new defensive coordinator, huh?
Yeah, we're real fortunate to have Steve on board with us, something that just popped up. My defense coordinator last year, our Sinus alum, young guy, played for me. Had an opportunity to go out to Oklahoma State and get on that staff. And Steve and I, had been really become friendly in the recruiting process. And over the last couple of years, started talking a little bit more football, not just recruiting, and hey, if anything pops up there, may keep me in mind. And when it did, we started talking, and now we're real excited about have Steve on board. And for the years of experience he has being a head coach, and now he's kind of the head coach of our defense now, Dave. But also, he has so many contacts here in the greater Philadelphia area. The ability in our lifeline is recruiting the greater Philadelphia area, and he's already off to a tremendous start, talking and giving opportunities to the best and brightest right here in greater Philadelphia.
Yeah, I'm sure of that. Like I said, I know we did a couple of the games here on PCTV when Pottsgrove had some very, very good teams and would run into them in the first round of the state playoffs or whatever. And man, I tell you what, he had some good teams down there at Archbishop Wood. I'm sure he has certainly been an asset. And I wanted to ask you about an old buddy of ours here too, Jeff Endy. He's a Pottstown guy who I see is on your staff.
Sure.
How's Jeff making out down there at UC?
Jeff's doing great, coaching our defensive backs, and we're really excited to get him back on staff. Now, graduated here, certainly, as you all know, had a stellar career at Pottstown, and actually volunteered here for a year as he was finishing up his student teaching. Went up to Kings for a couple years in the Wilkes-Barre area, and then where we had an opening, and he was my first call. So a tremendous first-class young man that's doing an excellent job and has a real bright future in front of him in the coaching profession.
Well, we love to hear that about our locals and our hometown guys. I mean, I've known his mother and father for a long time, and he comes from a great family, and it's great to see young Jeffrey doing well, and I'm sure under you and Devil and those guys, he's going to learn a lot of football as well. I see defensively you're giving up 20 points a game, which is a good number in today's world. 120 yards on the ground and 190 through the air. Do you find that most teams that you play and in your conference, are they spread teams like most are today, or what kind of offenses you running up against there, Pete?
Well, for the most part, everybody has been spread. I think Muhlenberg poses the first team that would plays with a tight end almost all the time, and sometimes 2 tight ends. So, they're going to have more people around the ball, and we're figuring out right now, as we speak, kind of what our thoughts are and how we're going to try to stop their run game. They have a great play pass, play action game. They have a good quick game. They're really a sound team all the way around that we're going to have our hands full here on Saturday with.
Well, you sort of had a little hiccup over the weekend. Last year, you had your way with Johns Hopkins for the first time in quite a while, so I guess they were smarting a little bit, and you ran into a buzzsaw there. Your quarterback, Tommy Garlick, threw a nice pass for your own. He scored a game. How do you develop that short memory and sweep that one under the carpet, Coach, and turn your attentions to Muhlenberg this week?
It was one of those things where we were riding pretty high going into that game, and it was on the road. It was our first. There are 2 previous road games. We had gotten a bus and went away and had an overnight sleep and didn't have a big bus ride in the morning. So you point to all the excuses that you want to make. We didn't show up, and we got a little humble pie down in Baltimore last week, and the message to the team is that we're not going to let that define us. We're going to, how we respond to that is going to define us. So we're a 4-1 football team that needs to get hungry again and get a chip on our shoulder and go out there this weekend with something to prove.
And again, we will be down there. The PCTV network will be there, and I'll be fortunate enough to do the color commentary, Coach. I'm really looking forward to it. I enjoy Ursinus College. We used to do a lot of high school playoff basketball games down there years ago in that nice little gym they had, and we always had good games down there. Actually, when I played in the Montgomery County All-Star game way back in 1975, we practiced at Ursinus College.
Right.
So we had a lot of fun down there. So I certainly have some fond memories of UC. Tell me a little bit about Muhlenberg now. You said they're a big offensive team. They score over 40 points a game. They're going to want to come in there and see what you got defensively. What do you got in store for the Mules?
Well, certainly Muhlenberg is a balanced team as well, and they got a power run game, a zone run game, and then they have play pass off it. They'll grind, and then try to hit you quick in the flat off of misdirection, play action, and they got a lefty quarterback from Penn Charter that actually his sister plays basketball here, so he's got a strong arm and he can make all the throws, and they do a nice job working in their system, staying on time, staying in front of the stick. So, we're going to have to. We're going to have to try to get them off time, get them behind the sticks, and which will be a challenge for us. But I think our guys are going to be ready for it.
That's awesome. Now, you do have a couple of local guys. You and I talked a little bit about that. Rich Kolka was just here, who is the Owen J. Roberts head football coach. And Mitch Bradford is one of your guys down there. He's a junior. He's a defensive back. You got a guy from PV. You got Capo Bianco, who is a linebacker for you. Chernesky is your extra point and field goal kicker. So you do have some local flavor going for the Bears this weekend as well.
Well, sure. Mitch has been a 2-year starter for us, and really has been a tremendous year for us at cornerback, and just a great cover guy, a physical guy, a great leader. Brett, is starting for us for his first year, but is very, very athletic, can run, can pressure the quarterback, can drop into pass coverage. So, we're excited about what he's been doing to help our defense. And Kirk Chernesky, just what a tremendous young man he is, in the Chernesky family from Pottstown.
Yeah.
Johnny came here, and Johnny's in WVU Law School right now. Kirky's going to be heading off to med school, and Kirky's going to be heading off to med school as well. One of the sisters is playing lacrosse here, so we're excited. I'm happy that Kirk is making a significant contribution to our football team this year.
Yeah, you talked about family, and that's a great family, Chernesky's. I remember his grandfather, who I don't know if he was still alive or not when Kirk and those guys were growing up, but he used to run CYO basketball, and boy, everyone knew who he was. And then Johnny Chernesky played at Pius, and he was a heck of a kid as well. And I'm sure Mom and Dad are very proud of Kirk at UC, and as well his sister. And before I let you go, Coach, again, I want to thank you so much for taking some time out of your game planning and busy schedule to talk to us here. We're going to have a nice day down there. We don't want any rain. We don't want any carrying on down there. We want to have a nice, beautiful fall afternoon down at UC for this big game.
Hopefully the sun will be out, and then the leaves will start to be turning, and it will be a beautiful autumn day for PCTV to come cover our game versus the Mules, Dave.
All right, well, listen, we're looking forward to it, and I got to make sure I stop down and say hello to you on the sidelines before the game. I don't like to interfere with your routine or your ritual or whatever, but we'll stop down and say hello. And again, all the best of luck. Good luck this week against Muhlenberg, Coach, and we'll be rooting for the Bears.
All righty. Thanks, Dave.
All right, take care. That's Coach Pete Gallagher, the head football coach at Ursinus College. The PCTV network will be broadcasting from Ursinus College this Saturday. The game kicks off at 1 o'clock, the 6th, and then we'll be replaying it later on that day. But we are really looking forward to that game as well. All right, we're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, the dynamic duo will be back on set. As Joe C's back from his little sabbatical, we'll take care of things as we move on. Again, I'm Dave Reinhardt, the Monday Morning Quarterback, here on the Vlahos Dunn Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback Show.
Stay tuned for more Monday Morning Quarterback right after this. Doc's Irish Pub, the hottest new sports bar around. From live entertainment to countless draft beers. From awesome burgers to the new outside tiki bar. Numerous TVs and Doc's friendly service. Doc's Irish Pub is the place to be. Stop by Doc's today for a leisurely lunch, a quick cold beer, or a delicious bite to eat on a fall night. Doc's Irish Pub. The newly remodeled and renovated Creekside Sports Bar and Grill sits on the Landis Creek Golf Course. Featuring live entertainment and weekly specials, the Creekside offers something for everyone. Discounted beer and wing prices during all Eagles games brings a being at the game feeling. With tailgating, big screen TVs, and wearing your team colors, you can bring the fall spirit to Creekside. So stop by the Creekside Sports Bar and Grill and see all the fun things it has to offer.
Fred Beans Ford of Boyertown is located on Route 100, just 2 miles north of Boyertown. Fred Beans Ford provides automotive sales, service, parts, and body shop all in one place. They're open 6 days a week. Fred Beans Ford in Boyertown can be reached at 800-222-0243, 800-222-0243, or online at fredbeans.com.
Back in 1949, Claude A. Reinhardt founded his family business, which has served the Pottstown and Tri-County area for over 50 years, specializing in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting, paper hanging, and brick restoration. Thanks to the commitment of tradition and values, Claude A. Reinhardt Painters has once again received this year's Reader's Choice Award. So if you're thinking about having an estimate or just need some good advice, give Ron or Keith Reinhardt a call and put your painting and decorating needs in our hands.
Welcome to the office of John H. Greismeyer Jr., where we believe in the value of relationships. We take pride in giving you the assistance you need, where that involves income tax, payroll, or financial statement preparation. Located in Boyertown, we're committed to meeting the needs of the people in our community, and our team of skilled financial professionals look forward to working with you. John H. Greismeyer Jr. Call us or visit our website now.
At Vlahos Dunn Insurance, we understand what moves people in business and in life, and we use this knowledge to better serve our clients. And we bring the same work ethic and commitment to our business as our customers do theirs. Vlahos Dunn Insurance, providing quality coverage to the Tri-County area since 1994. So call our knowledgeable staff.
Hi, I'm Jim Vlahos of Vlahos Dunn Insurance, and we're in your community.
Back here on the Vlahos Dunn Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback, I'm Dave Rynair. And before I get hooked up with the dynamic duo here, my buddy Joe C., I did want to go over a couple of things that we didn't get an opportunity to do because of the rearranged schedule on the show. You know, each week we do have a top 5, and I wanted to make sure that we got an opportunity to look at that as well. And that is brought to you by the Reinhardt boys. There they are, Keith and Ronnie. They're always in my top 5. Those two guys, they've been painting from the Reinhardt family since 1943 or 46, something crazy like that, started by old Claude Deacon Reinhardt. And I want to thank those guys for hooking me up again this year. All right, let's check this top 5 out. We had a little bit of change in the order here this week. Pottsgrove with a big win, an overtime win over PJP, jumps up to number 1. PJP drops down to number 2. Perk Valley squeaks by. They're at 4-2. Springford laying in the weeds at 5-1, and O&J Roberts at 4-2. They jump into our top 5. Again, I want to congratulate those 5 teams, and particularly number 1 ranked Pottsgrove and Bill Hawthorne with his 6th straight win. I want to thank those guys, and again, congratulate them on that. And before we move on to the next section, we do have our scoreboard, our Paul Bauer scoreboard. Actually, he's an attorney that you can count on. Paul Bauer, give him a call for all your needs right there at 610-624-6800. An attorney that you can count on, from wills to whatever else that you have, any kind of legal issues. Give Paul a call today. And our scoreboard looks like this. There you see the overtime game. Pottsgrove by 7 in a great, great football game. I'm glad that we were able to be there and to show you that one. Look out for those Upper Marion Vikings, 4-2, 2-0 in league play. Springford Rams with a big Saturday homecoming win over the Methacton Warriors. How about those Trojans? They go down to Washington Field in Phoenixville and pull out a win. Perk Valley, man, they sneak one out against Norristown. Watch out for those Eagles. They are up and coming. And we talked to Rich Kolka and Marcus Martin here as the Cats knock off Boyertown 35-13. Again, brought to you by Paul Bauer, an attorney that you can count on. All right, and before we go over to Joe, I just want to bring up this week's games for you and break them down a little bit as we go. We'll take a quick break then, and we'll see what's going on in the Eagles ranks. In the Liberty Division, Boyertown travels to Springford. Springford, on paper, appears to be the favorite in that one. They are playing well. They are 5-1, 2-0 in the league. The Boyertown Bears would like nothing better than to get down to Royersford and knock them off. Springford with a slight edge there. PV travels to Methacton. Actually, it's almost going to be like a home game for PV. They played their game at Methacton last week because PV's field was still too muddy and unplayable, so they went over to the new turf field at Methacton. PV, I think, handles Methacton in this one. And O&J Roberts, they're not looking past Norristown. Joe Milligan and his guys are going to be coming down there and take on the Cats at Bucktown. Bucktown boosters better be out in force, and the Cats better be ready for that one. Then we have over there in the Frontier Division, Phoenixville, smarting from that loss to Pottstown, travels to a Saturday afternoon game down at PJP. We'll see how the Golden Panthers come off the mat a little bit after their tough loss in a really, really good football game on Friday night against the Grove. PJP looks to get better and rebound against the Phantoms. Pottsgrove, again, cannot afford a letdown. They got Tommy Hans's gang coming in from Upper Perk. There will be another home game for the Grove at Rick Pennypacker Field. The Grove has a slight advantage there, and see if they can continue their wave as they remain undefeated. And a game that I think is going to be a toss-up, which should be a good one, Pottstown travels to Upper Marion. Two teams that are 4-2 overall, Pottstown 1-1, Upper Marion 2-0 in the Frontier Division. It should be a good one. And don't forget the PCTV studio, Network Sports, will be at Ursinus College on Saturday afternoon as the Bears take on those Mules from Muhlenberg. That should be a good one. All right, we're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, we'll get Joe all together here, get him all mic'd up, and we'll have some fun after this quick commercial break. The Dynamic will be back in action here, right here on the Vlahos Dunn Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback Show.
Stay tuned for more Monday Morning Quarterback right after this.
Back in 1949, Claude A. Reinhardt founded his family business, which has served the Pottstown and Tri-County area for over 50 years, specializing in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting, paper hanging, and brick restoration. Thanks to the commitment of tradition and values, Claude A. Reinhardt Painters has once again received this year's Reader's Choice Award. So if you're thinking about having an estimate or just need some good advice, give Ron or Keith Reinhardt a call and put your painting and decorating needs in our hands.
Doc's Irish Pub, the hottest new sports bar around. From live entertainment to countless draft beers. From awesome burgers to the new outside tiki bar. Numerous TVs and Doc's friendly service. Doc's Irish Pub is the place to be. Stop by Doc's today for a leisurely lunch, a quick cold beer, or a delicious bite to eat on a fall night. Doc's Irish Pub.
Established in 1916 and granted membership into the Philadelphia Golf Association in 1920, Brookside Country Club is well known for its challenging layout and true fast greens. The William Gordon design provides a challenge for golfers of all abilities. Brookside Country Club offers traditional club amenities in a family-friendly atmosphere. Brookside Country Club, where elegance and excellence are par for the course.
At Vlahos Dunn Insurance, we understand what moves people in business and in life, and we use this knowledge to better serve our clients. And we bring the same work ethic and commitment to our business as our customers do theirs. Vlahos Dunn Insurance, providing quality coverage to the Tri-County area since 1994. So call our knowledgeable staff.
Hi, I'm Jim Vlahos of Vlahos Dunn Insurance, and we're in your community.
There we are, the DD, the dynamic duo. My man is back in the house. I put him out on a sabbatical. He had to miss last week because of a previous engagement with work. And we love when Joe is here on set with us. We certainly did miss him down there at the Creekside Sports Bar and Grill. What a great time. And again, the Pottsgrove cheerleaders and the Pottsgrove gang really had a fun time down there, and we did as well. But Joseph, it's always good to see you, my man.
Can't they get the older picture back?
Yeah,
one that had the mustache.
With the mustache.
Yeah,
Yeah, a little Snidely Whiplash and stuff. Yeah, that was all good stuff. But yeah, we're glad to have you back here, Sport. But hey, how about our EAGLESs? Struggling a little bit. Another tough loss yesterday. They are now at a 2-2. And let's look at the NFC East a little bit real quickly before we
you
get
want
into
to talk
it.
about the game? Okay.
Yeah, let's talk that a little bit, okay?
Go ahead.
The Redskins are sitting on top at 2-1 at this point.
Right.
They had a bye this week. I don't know if I'd like to have a bye this early in the season.
It's too
Well,
early.
yeah, it is early. The Eagles and the Cowboys are both 2-2, and the Giants are 1-3. And again, they have the skill players, but that offensive line is just, really holding them back. Break down after the first quarter of the season, the first 4 weeks, we got 4-4, 16. So what do you think, NFC East?
Well, I'm not quite sure with Washington because, like you said, they're on the bye. But I did like the Adrian Peterson pickup. And I think Alex Smith will fit that system a lot better than Kirk Cousins. So we can't count out Washington. They're always hurt at the tight end position, and their defense is pretty decent. As far as the Cowboys go, man, they let Elliott run wild yesterday, so they turned him loose. But as soon as Sean Lee gets hurt, they're done. They're
Yeah,
done.
they're done.
They have Marcus Lawrence, and you know Lee's going to get hurt because every single year it seems like he gets hurt. I'm not a big Dak Prescott fan, and the fact that they don't have a wide receiver, I guess their go-to wide receiver right now is Cole Beasley.
Yeah.
He was getting a little fired up yesterday.
Yeah.
He made a couple catches. So Dallas really
The dude
doesn't.
gets open.
Yeah, he
He
does.
gets open.
He does. I mean, hey.
Yeah, but he looks like he's
I-
going to break it any
And
minute,
as
but-
far as the Giants go, Giants are a team that really confused me because they have Odell Beckham, who doesn't look like he's into it at all.
Nope.
And Barkley's just feeling his way
Yeah.
in there. And they got Gallman. They just put Jonathan Stewart on the IR, and they got Gallman, who's a Clemson
Right.
running back,
Yeah.
second-year guy, has some talent. But then yesterday he gets the ball knocked out, fumbled, and he
Yeah.
doesn't come back
Yeah,
on the field
right.
the rest of the game. So I'm not sure that whole thing with the Giants. Plus, I'm not too sure with the coaching staff. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if
Fish
they're.
Summer.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, as far as the Eagles go, wow, what a difference a year makes.
Yeah.
And say whatever you want. Say whatever you want. And I don't know where you're going with this, but here's where I'm going with it. Frank Reich, the QB coach,
DeFilippo.
yep, DeFilippo, and guys like LeGarrette Blount. You know, were you going there? Because we haven't
No,
talked about it.
no. I mean, I certainly, I respect your
But-
opinion.
but
and where you
yo,
go,
but-
I think that they're missing Reich and DeFilippo as well. I'm not so much a LeGarrette Blount
Listen, I'm
guy,
not saying I was a
but-
fan,
yeah.
but yesterday I felt they could have used LeGarrette Blount.
Well,
now,
John,
you-
he ran well in the beginning. of the
yeah,
game,
but he
didn't
has what, a hairline fracture or
I
something?
don't know.
So
I
he
don't
was
know.
running good. Wendell Smallwood should be cut today.
Uh-huh.
He couldn't pick up a block to save his life. I mean, you have Jason Kelsey and whoever the right guard was,
Barrett Brooks.
They're blocking one guy. They're blocking one guy. And here comes the linebacker, free. And they're Smallwood, like, looking to block that guy.
Well,
I don't understand
I agree.
what happened there.
But I also have to go with this premise. If you want to get rid of Smallwood, which I never liked from day one, but I'd have to say, where's Dallas Goedert? Because he misses guys too. Because that's why they don't have faith in him. He looks like Gronkowski out there. He looks like he should be barreling and steamrolling guys and making plays all over. But he misses blocks. I watch him and
Brent
I listen.
Selleck. Brent Selleck.
Correct.
Listen,
They
yeah.
don't realize how much
Yeah,
they missed
yeah,
Brent Selleck.
absolutely.
Brent Selleck was like having an extra tackle out there, and even though he didn't catch a lot of passes the last couple of years of his career, he was very, very valuable to that team. And I also think Trey Burton added a dimension that they don't have now, a very athletic guy that can get open. I mean, Perkins and whomever, those guys, they don't have it as well. I think Alshon Jeffrey is going to help them out a little bit.
You saw a
Joe.
little spark that he threw in
But
there.
if Aguilar's
Yes,
going to
sir.
go back and regress to where he was his first and maybe half his second year, that's no good because he was targeted 12 times and only had 5 catches.
Right.
He had a bunch of
Drops, yeah.
And this is professional football now. You may drop one. I mean, that poor kid from Tennessee. That was his chance to show the world that he deserved to be there, and he drops the
Jennings?
ball. Yeah,
Jennings, yeah, yeah.
I mean, he was sort of a
Yeah,
practice
missed
squad
him.
guy.
Corey Davis missed.
Yeah.
Dropped Sharp dropped a pass. They all missed. But it was a team effort loss
Aye,
as far
no
as
doubt about it.
defensively.
Yeah, no
I
doubt.
mean, I don't know what was going on that 4th and 15 where they give him a 19-yard reception.
Corey Graham standing there like he's guarding nobody. He's
Yeah.
playing zone defense and he's guarding the yard marker. I don't get
doesn't
that.
make sense.
It doesn't make sense. So, first of all, I don't like the defense. Get up there and bump and run and have your safeties behind there so you can double cover those
Exactly.
areas. But you can see
That's what
as soon as
Tennessee did.
exactly right. As soon as they stopped taking pressure off Mariota, he looked like Joe Montana back there. I mean, he hadn't thrown for more than 100 and something yards. Yesterday, he throws for, where's my little notes here? 344.
Right.
Career
Yep.
high.
Yep.
2 TDs. He had 1 interception, but he looked like he was ready for the Pro Bowl, and the games before that, he wasn't doing much of anything.
And look,
And then they let him out of the pocket on that one long, 3rd and 19, and he gains 15 of that back.
Yeah.
And where is Fletcher Cox? All I keep hearing about is this guy's a beast. I'm so tired of hearing he's a beast. Where is he? He had 1.5 tackle yesterday. Michael Bennett had an assisted tackle. That's all he did. He's crying for more playing time. Where's his fall on the defensive line?
Right.
You know, Jim Schwartz doesn't want to blitz because he thinks he can get enough pressure from his front four. Guess what? He ain't getting enough pressure. They ain't getting enough pressure.
You're exactly right. I agree with you 100%. It was a total letdown on the defensive side of the ball as well. And then you look at Nada, you look at Bennett, you look at, and we talked about this 2 weeks ago. Barnett, where was he? I didn't know he was on the field. But Jernigan,
I know.
We're looking at him.
Is he done for the year?
I don't know.
Because you haven't even heard his name.
You look at the linebacker, and you got you got Hicks.
Yeah.
He was running after Deion Lewis, and he got clipped.
Yeah, I know. Right. Yeah, I know. That was a good play.
It was a great block.
Yeah, it was a great block.
And then Deion Lewis is running like he's an Heisman Trophy winner out of Pittsburgh. And the Eagles had him.
Yeah.
And he had him.
And he played at either Blair Academy or Lawrenceville, who plays the Hill School. I saw him play in high school. He's a Jersey kid. And the thing is that I can't believe that New England let him go. He's good. Well, they got Sony Michel.
Then you go and you look at.
Careful.
You look at Sidney Jones.
Mm-hmm.
You look at Maddox, and then you got Rasul Douglas on the bench.
I know.
And then you got Maddox, who slips and falls in the end zone trying to cover Davis. Okay, he slipped, I get it. But what's going on as far as the pressure on the quarterback? There was none. Was non-existent.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick timeout. We got a couple technical issues here we want to take care of here on set. So we'll be right back. We're going to do a quick timeout. We'll come back. We'll look at our game ball. We'll look at by the numbers. We'll look at our things as we get everybody organized here on set. I'm Dave Ridenour. He's Joe C. We are the dynamic duo right here on the Vallejo Stun Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback Show.
Stay tuned for more Monday Morning Quarterback right after this.
At Vallejo Stun Insurance, we understand what moves people in business and in life, and we use this knowledge to better serve our clients. And we bring the same work ethic and commitment to our business as our customers do theirs. Vallejo Stun Insurance, providing quality coverage to the Tri-County area since 1994. So call our knowledgeable staff.
Hi, I'm Jim Vlahos of Vallejo Stun Insurance, and we're in your community.
Doc's Irish Pub, the hottest new sports bar around. From live entertainment to countless draft beers. From awesome burgers to the new outside tiki bar. Numerous TVs and Doc's friendly service. Doc's Irish Pub is the place to be. Stop by Doc's today for a leisurely lunch, a quick cold beer, or a delicious bite to eat on a fall night. Doc's Irish Pub.
Back in 1949, Claude A. Reinhardt founded his family business, which has served the Pottstown and Tri-County area for over 50 years, specializing in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting, paper hanging, and brick restoration. Thanks to the commitment of tradition and values, Claude A. Reinhardt Painters has once again received this year's Reader's Choice Award. So if you're thinking about having an estimate or just need some good advice, give Ron or Keith Reinhardt a call and put your painting and decorating needs in our hands.
The newly remodeled and renovated Creekside Sports Bar and Grill sits on the Landis Creek Golf Course. Featuring live entertainment and weekly specials, the Creekside offers something for everyone. Discounted beer and wing prices during all Eagles games brings a being at the game feeling. With tailgating, big screen TVs, and wearing your team colors, you can bring the fall spirit to Creekside. So stop by the Creekside Sports Bar and Grill and see all the fun things it has to offer.
We are back here at the TCTV Network Studios, here at the Pottstown Senior High Studios. Dave Ridenhour, Joe C. The dynamic duo is back in the house. And Joseph, we were a little fired up there about our Eagles and, Jim Schwartz and all these guys. I don't know. Is there a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover, or did they lose their edge a little bit, Joe? What's your feeling down on that?
Everybody's like looking at them, saying, so they're getting a little bit more fired up going into the game. And look at Tennessee. They actually beat Jacksonville, who was in the AFC Championship game with New England, and then they turn around this week and they beat the Eagles. But let's talk about Tennessee a little bit. How about Vrabel? How about Mike Vrabel?
Yeah.
He's going for it. Last year, the whole year, 11 times Tennessee went for it on fourth down. In the first 4 games, he's going for it 10 times.
I like
10
the guy.
times.
I loved him as a player. And I'm a Belichick, Brady, New England guy. That's my second team. I like a lot about them, the way they operate, the way they're no nonsense, and they practice hard. They hit during the week. He plays his guys in the preseason, and even though they started a little slow this year because they really didn't have anybody, now Edelman's coming back, and I'm anxious to see how the guy they got from Cleveland makes out, the wide out.
Josh Gordon.
Gordon, the guy who's had so many troubles, and hopefully he'll be able to put it all together and have a decent career and turn his life around. We're all rooting for the kid. But I'm anxious to see, and it was really funny because, oh my God, the New England, their demise, they're 1-2, and Miami's going up there at 3-0, and it was 38-7, and it wasn't even that close.
You know what? But you got to look too. Miami has a couple offensive linemen that got hurt. One's out for the rest of the year, so they're diminished there. And a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that you don't really realize affects a team and their preparation, whether or not they're all on the field at the same time. Yesterday, Tennessee's offensive line was together for the first time in like a year and a half or something. So it has an effect. It has a definite effect.
And I have this little funny thing for all my Steeler friends over there that they're all fired up. They were cheering and ranting and raving when the Eagles were losing yesterday, and then they came out and laid a little stinker out of their own on Sunday night. As Joe Flacco looked like his old Super Bowl self, as he and that little speed guy John Brown.
John Brown. I think Flacco might be looking over his shoulder a little.
Oh yeah, with
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, for sure.
He's Lamar Jackson's the only quarterback in this draft that hasn't started a game.
Yeah.
Every other rookie quarterback is starting. Josh Rosen,
Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold,
Yep.
Allen, Buffalo.
Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I like to see the young bucks in there. Joe, each week we do have a game ball. My buddy Paul Strauss is responsible for that. As I said, every week Paul's been with me from jump, and he's just a good guy, and he's still at it, cutting hair, doing mine. I got to get over to see him too. I tell you, I need a haircut badly, so I'll get over to 943 North Hanover Street, and I'll give the guy a holler, and he'll find a way to get me in. And I'm going to go first because I know you're going to take my guy.
I know who you're taking.
I'm taking Trubisky. You never liked him, so you can't be using him. You didn't
when
like
did I
him.
say?
You didn't
When
like
did I
him.
say I didn't
Last
like
year,
him?
you didn't like him. You didn't like him.
It's true.
You didn't like him.
It's true.
So anyway, I'm taking Mitchell Trubisky, or Mitch, whichever he prefers to be called at this time. 6 touchdown passes, 300 and something yards, 354 yards. No interceptions, which is real good. But the Bears spank.
19 completions, 6 of them were for touchdowns.
1 out of 3.
And what do you have, 5 in the first half?
Yeah, 1 out of 3. So I'm going to go with Mitchell Trubisky.
That's who I was actually going
I know you were, and I took him because you take my guys, and you shouldn't take my guy because you didn't like the guy. Now all of a sudden you're jumping on his bandwagon.
Well, you know what you're talking about.
I know. Go ahead.
I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
The defense shutout, even though it was Buffalo Bills. They had 7 sacks. They had 2 interceptions. They had a fumble recovery, and they pitched the shutout. So you know what? I'm giving mine to the Green Bay Packers.
And that's a hard thing to do in the NFL.
No, seriously, right?
As I said,
right?
It is. Yeah.
I mean, we were just talking. Look at all these scores.
Yeah.
We were just talking about how many overtime games there are. And talking about the overtime games, you look at Frank Reich, and he was trying to do what Vrabel did, and it backfired.
Well, it backfired because Andrew Luck threw a poor ball.
Yeah.
I mean, he was open, and it was not a good throw.
Yep.
And Andrew Luck said, hey, I got to do better. He said, we all were in favor of going for it. We didn't come here to tie. We didn't care what the field position were. It was 4th down, and the whole team wanted to go, and we went. I got to execute better because I didn't throw a good pass. But his arm strength did look better yesterday than it did. I think it's getting better daily because he did throw that one pass about 50 yards down the field. Because they brought in Brissett to throw the Hail Mary because Luck's arm wasn't that strong.
Right.
But it looks like he is getting better. But heck, he threw the ball 62 times yesterday. So they can't worry about him having a bad arm if he's chucking it up there 60. Carson threw it 50 times and would drop back, I think, 60 times. I think Nick Foles would have gotten waffled yesterday. Carson still shows some pretty good maneuverability back there in the pocket. So you got Green Bay's D. My buddy Jason Hills was up there, as a matter of fact. He turned 40 years old, and his wife took him on a great birthday trip. They went to Chicago. He's from Iowa, so he was always a Chicago Bears, Chicago Cubs, and the Green Bay Packer fan. So they went for a couple baseball games, ended up at the Packer game yesterday. So for his 40th birthday, they had a great time. And
that's beautiful.
Happy birthday, Jay Bird, you big 4-0 old man dude.
All right. That's the way to spend the birthday.
And by the numbers. And we got to visit this one again. My good buddy Jack Griesmer, my accountant, my money guy, over there in Gilbertsville, located right next to the Seville's Diner. And his little office there, stop in to see Jack. He's always good. I'm going to give you Cooper Kupp, my big guy. 37.2 points he had. Cooper Kupp as my flex guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to.
You had him, right?
Yeah.
You had him on the team.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I've been trying to do each week with my By the Numbers is give you my big guy for the week. I still have a chance to win if Kareem Hunt has a big game tonight. I got a shot, but Patrick Mahomes might have a bigger game.
I don't know though. We're playing against Denver.
I know.
You got Von Miller.
I'm hoping.
So maybe we'll do a little play action, and we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, but Cooper Kupp had 9 catches for 162 and 2 TDs.
I know. And stop because I had Jared Goff on my bench on Thursday.
Well, you know what? You need to
he
call
had,
Monday morning quarterback.
I need some help. Need some help. I'm even today. I was still like, I can't believe I did play golf.
I know. Jeez, oh man.
But he's having a heck of a year.
He is.
And so is the Rams. I mean, they're what? The
Rams and Kansas City
Kansas
appear
City
to be the
the cream of the crop.
Yeah, I think so. At this point, anyway, and you know we've seen Andy Reid fizzle many times, and you know they start out like a house on fire, and then they sort of limp home. And but this Patrick Mahomes, now obviously he's a young kid, but his arm talent is as good as anybody's. I mean, he can make every throw now, whether he can read all the defenses yet and whether he turns the ball over and all that stuff yet. But I tell you what, he makes some highlight reel throws.
Tonight will be actually the first time I actually
I'm looking forward to seeing him too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You know, they got Cohen and they got Hunt and they got some skilled people. They got Kelsey's brother at tight end, I guess, right?
They have Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Wide receiver.
That's what I meant. Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. Cohen's
Chicago.
With the Bears. That's fine. I understand. I knew what you meant. Yeah. And then you're looking at Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
And they also have Spencer Ware.
Yeah.
But it's like the wide receivers. It's like Conley. They got Sammy Watkins, who was with the Rams last year, and he's still got something.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. And my buddy Dan Weller coached him at Fort Myers South High School, and I remember him calling me and saying, "Dave, you got to check this dude out. He's going to Clemson, and he's going to be a stud." And he certainly, has turned out to be that. All right, Joe, well, listen, we're going to take one more time out. We come back, we're going to sum up the Eagles and whatever else is going on. We're going to look at our 5-pack picks, and then we're going to say adieu for one more week here in October. But again, he's Joe C., I'm Dave Ridenauer. We're the dynamic duo, and we'll be right back to take her down the home stretch.
Stay tuned for more Monday Morning Quarterback right after this.
At Vlahos Dunn Insurance, we understand what moves people in business and in life, and we use this knowledge to better serve our clients. And we bring the same work ethic and commitment to our business as our customers do theirs. Vlahos Dunn Insurance, providing quality coverage to the Tri-County area since 1994. So call our knowledgeable staff.
Hi, I'm Jim Vlahos of Vlahos Dunn Insurance, and we're in your community.
Doc's Irish Pub, the hottest new sports bar around. From live entertainment to countless draft beers. From awesome burgers to the new outside tiki bar. Numerous TVs and Doc's friendly service. Doc's Irish Pub is the place to be. Stop by Doc's today for a leisurely lunch, a quick cold beer, or a delicious bite to eat on a fall night. Doc's Irish Pub.
Back in 1949, Claude A. Reinhardt founded his family business, which has served the Pottstown and Tri-County area for over 50 years, specializing in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting, paper hanging, and brick restoration. Thanks to the commitment of tradition and values, Claude A. Reinhardt Painters has once again received this year's Reader's Choice Award. So if you're thinking about having an estimate or just need some good advice, give Ron or Keith Reinhardt a call and put your painting and decorating needs in our hands.
The newly remodeled and renovated Creekside Sports Bar and Grill sits on the Landis Creek Golf Course. Featuring live entertainment and weekly specials, the Creekside offers something for everyone. Discounted beer and wing prices during all Eagles games brings a being at the game feeling. With tailgating, big screen TVs, and wearing your team colors, you can bring the fall spirit to Creekside. So stop by the Creekside Sports Bar and Grill and see all the fun things it has to offer.
We're back here on the Vlahos Dunn Insurance Monday morning quarterback show as we're heading down the home stretch, Joseph. And a couple of weeks ago, you and I were tied. I can't find the info. We were 3-2 or 4-1. So you and I were tied. I think I knocked off Scotty Furman last week by 1, as I took the Oakland Raiders and he went the other way. He went with the Cleveland Browns. So
yeah, that was pretty exciting.
Yeah. Brew Dog got his first win.
He did.
Big time. And, you know, Derek Carr has sort of been an enigma, too. You know, I mean, he's a guy who seemed to be very talented and looked like he was going to do some good things. And now all of a sudden he's taken a couple steps back.
I think, I agree. This week he showed who I thought he was capable of being. And I think maybe, down the road a little bit, he'll get more into it. But, he has some weapons there, too. You know what I mean? Jordy Nelson, Amari Cooper, Cook, the tight end. Mm-hmm. He's got some weapons there. So
well, they play the Chargers this week, which should be a good game. The Chargers are 2-2, and Phillip Rivers is certainly a guy who is a quality professional.
I'll take the Chargers because
we're not taking that game.
I'll take the Chargers because I'll tell you what. I think the whole
I got to get Antonio Gates on my fantasy team.
The Khalil Mack thing, I think, was a big snafu for Gruden.
Well, he's got to really cash in on these draft picks.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Let's go to our 5-pack picks. Our 5-pack picks are brought to you by Izzy's on 3rd. I was just over there the other night. We had a great time. They got 20 TVs. They got games and sports and golf and the Ryder Cup and all that stuff on all the different TVs. And Kurt and Jimmy DeCinio and all the guys, tell Paul Bauer we sent you. We have a good time over at Izzy's. You either go to Doc's at one end of the town or you go to Izzy's at the other end for all your fun stuff. All right, Joseph, here we go, buddy. Tonight's game is Kansas City against Denver in Mile High, bro.
I'm going to go with Kansas City.
Ooh, you dog, you.
Yeah, well.
That's who I wanted to go to, but I got to go Denver.
You're going to go Denver just
to
be different?
Yeah, I do. I didn't want to start off.
Why do you do that? Why?
Because
Why
I don't want to. We can't pick the same teams.
Why not?
Why not? Because then we're going to be the same thing every week.
Well, you always aspire to be like me. Right?
I know that. I know that. But
come on, next
not
game.
Until you grow your mustache back. then I want to be like you.
That's beautiful. All right, good. Next game.
All right, here we go. Now the Dolphins, who are 3-1, coming off the mat. They were supposed to be the up and coming Ryan Tannehill, this and that and that. Traveling to the Bengals, Cincinnati. Andy Dalton having a decent year.
I'll tell you what. They're not dependent on A.J. Green as much as they used to. I'm going to take Cincinnati.
I'm going to go Cincinnati too. It goes against everything I
even
believe.
after the Bengals coming off of
I think
the
Marvin
win,
Lewis is on his
and
way.
Miami coming off of the loss, and I
Two
still
games
like
on the road
Cincinnati.
away.
I still
All
like
right, here we go. Now here's something interesting.
Go ahead.
Matty Ice and the Atlanta Falcons are traveling to the Steel City to take on those Steelers, who got spanked around last night a little bit. And my guy, Big Roethlisberger, Big Benny, didn't do so well last night. How do you break down Falcons at Steelers?
I'll tell you what. Man. It's in Pittsburgh, right? I want to take Pittsburgh. I want to take Pittsburgh because of the natural turf.
I am too.
I think they'll slow
Steelers
down Atlanta a little bit.
All right. Now, we got the Battle of Texas. Those Cowboys, with a last-second win, take on the Texans. See if Deshaun Watson can put together a couple of games in a row. Cowboys at Texans. Joseph?
I'm going to take the Cowboys.
Ooh! I'm happy about that.
I know. You're going to take Deshaun.
I'm taking the Texans. J.J. Watt.
And Hopkins.
And plus,
I'm going to regret that one. I'll regret that one.
I talked to our girlfriend, the sports angel,
Robin,
today.
Yeah,
she's doing wonderful. She's involved with a new thing now. She's helping out veterans all over the world, and she has her radio. They're even in Armed Forces radio. She's doing all kinds of stuff. So she's going to get on our show. We're going to get her on the show.
Nice.
I said, especially when we get closer to that time period. All right, and then, of course, our last game is the Vikings versus our EAGLES Eagles.
Vikings coming off a Thursday night loss with a lot of time to prepare, but the Eagles coming back home after. I want to take the Eagles. I'll take the Eagles.
I can't take the Vikings.
And let's talk about the Ryder Cup for 2 seconds. If
Woo!
we may.
I stayed up. I'm watching at 2 o'clock in the
2:30
morning.
a.m.,
4:30. Yeah, I'm watching it. I'm
up.
So
I'm watching.
Upset. I'm so
I'm
upset.
pumped, and it's like the only person that showed any enthusiasm was Justin Thomas.
Correct.
Yes or no?
Correct.
Tony Finau, I didn't even see more than maybe 5 of his shots.
I know.
And he played really well. And Webb Simpson.
And
that's it.
And you know
that's it.
You know the Tiger wasn't playing well because they didn't show him, because normally it's 99% Tiger. And he
Phil Mickelson.
Didn't do well.
Phil Mickelson shouldn't even been there.
No. He better back out of
it was crazy. I don't think.
Yeah, it's not.
It was crazy of how poorly they played.
And I find myself rooting for Ian Poulter and those guys, and I can't stand Ian Poulter and those guys.
Exactly.
Molinari and Fleetwood are my new favorite team. I mean,
I love Fleetwood. I thought he was great.
I love him
and Molinari,
too.
he's a
cool.
paisan.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
But he was cool as a cucumber. Yeah. But every single shot was on the money.
Yeah, it was.
They were
awesome.
Because why? Because they weren't all about the long ball.
Yeah, I know.
And they controlled their
and they
tee
couldn't
shots.
make a putt. They couldn't make something like this.
Yep.
All right, Joe.
All right,
I
cool.
hope you're going to be here next week. We'll see if you can start a streak, 2 in a row. 2 in a row for Joe. If we're going to get sides
like the Eagles.
2 in a row for Joe. 2 in a row for Joe. But we'll be back next week. We'll be in the studio. We'll have a lot more fun. He's Joe C. I'm Dave Rydnow. We are the dynamic duo. This is the Vlahos Dunn Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback. We'll see you next week.